What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Koral. He is Kevin Kaduk, and welcome to Midway Minute. Remember to hit that subscribe button so you can see us all the time on YouTube, and head to the website, midwayminute.win, and sign up for the newsletter. Kevin, the Bears are 1-4 under Matt Nagy in games with 10 or more days rest. And one of those games happens to be last season when Teddy Bridgewater put up 36 points on the Bears at Soldier Field. Now, as a member of the Panthers, what's he going to do against this team?
I unfortunately remember that all too well. And I think everyone wants to know, what are you guys doing on your breaks? I mean, we want the Bears to get their rest. We want them to rest up. Seems like it's been a long time since you and I talked, ever since they beat the Buccaneers on Thursday night. But you're right. Teddy Bridgewater took them apart at Soldier Field last season. And to me, that was probably the worst game. That was really the sign that, hey, maybe these 2019 Bears really aren't going to do what they did in 2018. Teddy's got some new digs in Carolina. I think it's going to be interesting. He's got off to a great start, but they still have some shortcomings. No Christian McCaffrey. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this all goes down.
Well, speaking of McCaffrey, he's been questionable with the high ankle sprain, and the Panthers have rattled off 3 straight wins. The guy who's replaced him is a guy the Bears know very well, Mike Davis. In his absence, he's averaging 4.8 yards a carry and 6 targets in the passing game. Yeah. The Mike Davis revenge tour is picking up full steam. So should the Bears be worried?
Well, I think that remains to be seen. I don't know if you saw Richard Sherman this week actually said that it's harder to game plan for the Panthers because there's no Christian McCaffrey, because they're a little bit more predictable when McCaffrey's back there. Everything runs through him. The Panthers have been able to run a few more things without him, and Matt Rule in his first year of head coach has drawn up some good game plans. They've beaten the Chargers, the Cardinals, and the Falcons in successive weeks, and I think they have a good chance to do it against the Bears. I'm really torn on who to pick this week. I don't know that whatever pick I make is going to be the right one.
Well, the line opened at 2.5 in favor of the Panthers, and now it's down to 1.5. So there are some Bears fans or people who just think that the Bears are actually going to beat the Panthers here. And a lot of that has to do with the Panthers defense. We've got 2 guys on the defensive line in Yetur Gross-Matos and Kawan Short, who are both on IR. Right. You have Eli Apple, one of the starting cornerbacks for the team. He was limited due to a hamstring. And Dante Jackson, who just practiced fully, was out prior to that. So we're not talking about a team that has a full defense ahead of it. Are you sure that you still want to say that the Bears might not win this?
Well, I think the Bears have obviously caught a lot of injury breaks when it comes to their opponents this year. Look, also they're going to this game. The Bears are going into this game without James Daniels. He's out for the year. His absence creates some problems on that offensive line. So maybe there are some opportunities for the Panthers there, the Panthers replacements, to make some noise. But I still think it's going to be a close game. It's hard to win in Carolina. I think it's hard to win any week in the NFL. And this is not a Bears offense that's going to run away and hide from anybody. So I think it's still going to be a close one.
Well, the Bears offense may not run and hide from anybody, but the Carolina's defense isn't exactly the best. They've struggled to get any kind of pressure on any quarterback whatsoever. Yeah. Only 5 sacks and only 13% pressure rate, which isn't good.
Which is going to be great for Nick Foles. I think Nick Foles needs that, and we'll see what Nick Foles does with these 10 days. You say the Bears are 1-4, but if there's ever a time that they needed 10 days to really get things in place, it was with Nick Foles. Obviously, he had the first start against the Buccaneers. They were able to pull out that victory. But I don't think, from quarter 1 to quarter 4, that still wasn't the performance they're looking for. And going into Carolina, I think they're going to need that. Let me ask you this. How important of a game do you think this is? Because earlier in the newsletter this week, I tried to go through the rest of the schedule, re-predict things, see if we get to that 10-win mark. And really kind of going through the path to that point, getting to 10 wins was really predicated on beating the Panthers.
It's extremely difficult. The Bears have to do things efficiently and turnover free. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that the Panthers defense actually excels at. In their 2 losses, so when they had McCaffrey, the Panthers defense still got 3 turnovers. in the Panthers' wins. So they've won 3 straight without McCaffrey. The Panthers' defense has 6 turnovers. So 9 turnovers total, but 2 in each game that they've won. Mm-hmm. So if the Bears want to win this, they've got to go through this and not commit turnovers. And with the Bears' interception rate, maybe you should go outside of Allen Robinson. I'm just saying.
You actually wrote this up in the notes. Share that with us, the Bears' interceptions and how they relate to Allen Robinson.
So the Bears have thrown 6 interceptions on the year. 5 of them have targeted Allen Robinson. 4 of them went through Robinson's hands and into the hands of the defender. Yeah. Now, if on 2 of those passes, if Robinson catches those balls, they would have been touchdowns. And maybe the Bears win on, just that alone. So the Bears may have to go away from Allen Robinson just a little bit and get everybody else involved in the offense.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. So who's your pick?
Well, because I'm the guy with the worst record this whole season.
And the Bears are 4-1 newsletter, right? Yeah.
Well, the Bears are 4-1 because of it. So I'm going to go with the Panthers. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go 24-21 Panthers.
Okay, so I like that. You're giving up your record for the greater good. I've wrestled with this a lot. I said in Wednesday's newsletter that they would beat the Panthers. I think I do have to stick to that. I think it's going to be another close one. I think it's going to be another 1-point victory. Nothing is easy this season. Let's go 24-23 Bears.
All right. Well, Kevin, thank you for your prediction. But guess what, everybody? That's not all for Midway Minute. We'll see you after the game. But don't forget, head on over to the website, midwayminute.win, and sign up to get the newsletter. We'll see you guys Sunday night.